Hey guys, today we're going to talk about reasonable domain and range. So we have talked about domain and range before, but now we're going to talk about constraints on it because domain, the x's, range, the y's, don't always go on and on forever and ever. So we're going to be applying this to real world situations. We're also going to talk about discrete and continuous, and then again, how to write that. Great reminders. So let's, without anything else to say, let's move forward. So we have here an aerobics class that's being offered once a week for 6 weeks. We have a registration fee is $15, and the cost for each class is $10. Write a function rule to describe the total cost of the class. Find a reasonable domain and range. All right. We have these classes and it asks about the total cost. So what is independent? What is dependent? And so domain is what's independent, and that would be, what do you think? It's going to be the number of classes. Because how often you go in this situation is going to determine your total cost. And it's important that we include the word total in that because there are other costs, and we're talking about the total cost. So the function rule for that would be y equals, let's see, it's $15 to register plus $10 per class. Now we could change the letters to be C for cost or T for total or something like that, but I'll go ahead and leave it like this. All right, discrete or continuous? It would definitely be discrete. I know if I ran or whatever this is, an aerobics class, then I would not let you pay for half of a class. Discrete because you cannot pay for half a class. You pay for all of it or none of it. All right, so could zero be included in your domain? Well, you know what? Some people would probably argue that no, because you're going to go to one class. But I know too many people in my life and my life experiences that they sign up for a class and they never go. So you could actually register for this class, these classes, and never actually go. Oh, whoops. I just made a mistake. Let me go ahead and erase that. Would zero be included? And I would say yes, because some would never attend. Okay, attend class. So now reasonable domain, it's going to start with zero. One class, two classes, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so let's say you never go to a class. You sign up, you're all excited, you're going to lose weight. Well, you never go. You're still going to have to pay that $15 registration fee. So at zero, it would be 15. But if I go to one class, I'm going to have to pay $10. So that would be 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, and 75 if I went to all of the classes. All right, so what is 345? Here again is, you have to think about, well, what would, if the independent is the number of classes and the dependent is the cost, then this would mean I attended 3 classes and paid $45. Now, I know my handwriting is bad enough, but it's worse with this pen that I'm using right now, and I apologize. Listen with your ears. Okay, I wish I had pretty handwriting. All right, here we go. Now, next one, there's a car. It's traveling 30 miles to a gallon, and it has a 20-gallon tank. So G is going to be the number of gallons, and there's a function rule, D equals 30G. and D is the distance. So G is the gallons, D is the distance, reasonable domain and range. So gallons of gas, distance. Which one is independent? The gallons of gas. So I'm going to write gallons. And so the distance depends on it. And everybody knows this who has ever had an empty tank of gas can't go anywhere. So the distance depends on how much gas you have. So the function rule they already gave us is D equals 30G. So would it be discrete or continuous? Well, maybe you've watched your parents, or maybe you've pumped gas before, but it can go in increments. So it'd be continuous because gas is slowly used when driving. It doesn't go one tank, 1 gallon at a time. It goes in increments. It's slowly used when driving, or however else you would want to write that. Remember, we're understanding process, and we know that there's not 2 gallons of gas in my car and then the next moment 1 gallon. It's slowly going down. Would zero be included in domain? Domain is my gas. We actually kind of already talked about it, and the answer was yes. I can have an empty tank. That would be 0 gallons. Okay, so the domain could be 0, 1, 2, and remember, I have a limit. I can only have 20 gallons of gas. So if I have 0, I can go 0 miles. Or I can go, whoops, you know what? And I just made a mistake because I'm thinking of discrete, and that was a silly thought because we are doing continuous. So our X, our domain, it can be 0 or it can be up to 20. So it can be anything in between. And we just talked about that. So foolishly, I forgot. I'm still thinking discrete. But when we started talking about the distance is when the red flag went up for me. And I'm like, whoops, made a mistake. Because I can go at 0, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go all the way up to 600 miles. Because if I get 30 miles per gallon, I have 20 gallons. That is 600 miles total. So 16,480 would be 16 gallons. And I don't know how you want to write this. And I drive 480 miles. Okay. Those are pretty basic. Now I want to show you something that's kind of a mind blower. And so it might be, it's important for you to see this. All right. Real life. That's what we're talking about here. So we have this woman. Her name is Joy. She is going into the t-shirt business. She's going to sell them for $25 each, but it cost her $7.50 each just to make the shirt. And she has to buy this $1,000 machine just to make the shirts. And she's going to start her business by ordering 500 shirts. So we want to know what her profit is. So independent is the number of shirts. It's the number of shirts sold, and then her profit depends on that. So I can write we'll call that P. I can write a function. Watch this because it's going to have a little extra step in it. Pretty cool though. So my profit is going to be, well, okay, I'm going to get $25 for each shirt. And I'm going to go ahead and call that X. We're going to call the number of shirts sold, we're going to call it X because my S's look a lot like 5s and I don't want to make this look too bad. So we're going to call it X. But remember, she has to pay $7.50 for each of those shirts. Plus, or minus, really, minus from her profit is the $1,000 that she has to pay. Now, if you do the math for the 25 and the 750, it ends up being that the profit is going to be 1750. I'm going to go ahead and drop the zero, x minus the $1,000 for the machine. And you're probably thinking this is a pretty bad idea. Why would anyone do this? All right. Discrete or continuous? Discrete. I cannot sell half a t-shirt. Okay. So would zero be included in my domain? Yes. Maybe I sell 0 t-shirts. It's a possibility. Maybe I have a really crummy design on my shirts. All right, so my domain could be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or all the way. I have to stop at 500 because that's all I have, at least for my first order. Now here's the deal. If I sell 0 t-shirts, I'm at negative 1,000 because I bought that stupid machine. Nobody wants my t-shirts. But I sell one. I sell one t-shirt. So now I'm at 982.50. But I sell another t-shirt. So now I'm at negative 965. But you know what? Here's the deal. If I sell all of these t-shirts, I will be at $7,750. Wow. Maybe you should go into the t-shirt business. You don't need a college education to do that. All right. So if she sold 20 shirts, well, if I do the math, 20 shirts wouldn't cut it. I would still owe $650 because I didn't sell enough t-shirts to, if I put $20 into my formula, it would still come out as negative $650. So again, that original formula, P, let me just go ahead and write it, is 17.5 if I sell 20 t-shirts minus the $1,000. Unfortunately, I will be at negative 650. Just not good enough. All right. Good luck with the assignment. Think. Ask for help. I'll see you later.